Welcome to the Mr. Beacon podcast. This week we have Zi Wang, who's the founder of Xerion Software, which is a company that have enjoyed great success with fieldapps.ai. And he's now starting a venture studio, Zenith Venture Studio. And this is actually a really good bookend to an episode we had 3 episodes ago with Mark Jacobstein, who was talking about venture building and the difference between that and a venture studio. Well, now you have an episode about venture studios, and our podcast general theme is for people creating and designing applications that are going to bring the digital and physical worlds together. But of course, very often, if you want to turn that into a business, you need to raise money. You get into the whole venture business. And so we're getting back in there. I got some really good feedback on the discussion with Mark, and I think you're going to enjoy this discussion with C. It's part of the reason is everyone loves a success story, but normally after there's been terrible failure as well. And C is talking about both of those things. And it's quite fortifying for anyone that's starting a new venture, whether it's inside a big company or starting up your own company. So enjoy. So, welcome to the Mr. Beacon podcast. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Steve, for having me.
You're a successful entrepreneur and you're kind of circling around with, I don't know whether it's a second act or a third act, how many acts there have been, but
the next act.
You've started a venture studio. So I will go into what a venture studio is and what your idea is of how a venture studio should be run. But I want to take a few minutes and just take some time and hear a bit about your journey, getting to the point where you can even contemplate writing checks to people and spending time growing businesses and having the wherewithal to judge what works, what doesn't. How did you get to where you are at the moment? What's your story?
Well, I think I started my first company a year before I graduated from college. And like people ask, like, why, what makes you want to start your own company? I think the journey started because I just never want to follow. I don't like the status quo. Of course, I believe I can do better, or I can do well at least. So that project, like we were three guys a year before we graduate. We just believe we can do anything, right? So like we were like, okay.
And what were you studying? What was your
computer science? So. Okay. That was, another backstory. I never knew that I would be in computer science. I thought I would be in EE, electrical engineering, right? I dream about making chips when I was, first time I came into touch with a microchip. It's like, this is it. I'm going to design these when I grow up.
Yeah.
And somehow I met software. And after one semester, I was like, I like software more than hardware. So I went into software. And then, of course, right, during the time in early 90s, software is brand new. And the three of us just like, well, we can conquer the world. We'll just get contract. Now, one other friend, he got a contract, so we work on it. And we delivered that, and that was it. Like, there was no next step. We couldn't find another contract, so... And then we also graduate. So like that dissolved peacefully. So, but to answer your question, how did I get here it's just keep trying. So after that, I went and worked I had a job. And then the next kind of thing was closer to 2000, I would say 90, 97, 98 timeframe, where somebody asked me to teach Java development. So I was one of the earliest certified Java developer. Like I got some of those certifications. So at that time, Java was very hot. And so I got an opportunity to start teaching, like a bootcamp. And then I learned that, oh my God, like there's money here. So many people wants to learn, and then they can get jobs. At the time, if you take a 6-week course in Java, you get a good, like close to 6-figure job almost immediately. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm not going to make money for you. I'm going to start on my own. So
Yeah.
I rented a tiny, like a 500 square feet classroom, and then start offering my own Java class. At the peak, I taught 7 days a week, 3 hours Monday through Friday, 9 hours on weekends, each weekend. So
Oh my God.
Saturday 3 sessions, Sunday 3 sessions, Monday through Friday 1 session each, and I still keep my full-time job during the day. So that's when you're young and when you go crazy.
Well, on your website, it says you're a workaholic, and now I believe it. That's incredible.
Right.
Yeah, that sounded like a lot before you said, and I had another job as well.
It is crazy. It's the first time I actually felt like I cannot catch up, because like you have work and you come, like after work I go teach, right? After teaching is 9 p.m. Now went home. If there are things from work I have to do more of, I don't have enough time because I have to prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But then that failed. The story is that training school, I made money. It was an amazing process, because in the beginning, I, like every Saturday, one of those 9 hours is a info session. And then a lot of time is just standing room only. So many people will line up, just waiting to sign up. But then the market crashed. And I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. I was so entrenched in what I'm doing during the day and at night. I don't know what's going on. Like, the world could have ended. I will have no idea.
So it wasn't the Java market crashed. It was just one of those recessions.
It was the tech market crash, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
like,
yeah.
So then when there's less jobs on the other end, less people want to get trained. And I didn't know, right? I didn't know it was external. I thought I didn't do good enough. So I did better, right? So I worked harder. So I spent more money advertising. I thought it worked before. So like it must have worked. So I start putting more money. I mean, at one point I remember I was spending $100,000 a month paying Google. And I take out a full page ad in a local paper, not a national paper, but full page ad. Like I was like, somehow it doesn't work anymore. It must mean I didn't do good enough, right? So I would need to work harder, and then get to a point like, oh my God, like I'm now losing money so fast. Yeah, I have to get out. So I got out. I got into a whole bunch of debt. I had to close out shop, move like at night. So it was kind of crazy. So like one night I just packed up everything and left. The next morning I went back to the landlord.
Yeah.
Because I signed a lease, right? I signed, I think, a 3-year lease.
Yeah.
And I told the landlord, hey, please, I typed up a release statement and say, please release me from the lease. If not, I'll have to file bankruptcy anyway. So you're not getting anything. So it's just like, please help me out. I have nothing at this point. Now, luckily, he just sighed and signed it. So I didn't have to file for bankruptcy, but I was seriously in debt at that time.
Wow.
So the story is that after that, I've told myself I'm not made out. I'm not made up for the business world. I should just get a job. Now at the time, luckily, I get into a pretty good job. The boss was very supportive of, like he visited me in the school. And it's like, well, just come work for me. I'll allow you the freedom. So let's just build something together. You don't have to start on your own. So I told myself, like, okay, maybe, I don't have to be my own boss. I don't have to start business. Maybe I'm not cut out for this world. So I've determined, and then I went work for him. So 1 year later, obviously, 1 year later, the itch come back. It's like, oh my God, I can't stay here. And so I started a consulting firm, and start consulting, placing people. The story there was that I start looking for what's possible out there, and I got called for placement. So I don't know if your audience will understand, but in the tech world, you get placed. It's consulting, right? So an agency can place you, and they make money on every hour that you work, right? So people were offering to place me into a job, and then I'll be independent. I'll be my own boss, so to speak. And I was like, that may be something that I can do also. So I start leaving the full-time job, being placed in one of these contracts. But then I told my agent that, hey, if you have a requirement to place someone, like, let me have it. I'll give you your cut, but I'll keep my cut to somebody, like some other people down the line. And so I start doing that. And I think 3 years later, I cut out all the middle layers, and I became the prime contractor to some of the biggest company. And that was
You built up a reputation, so they were coming to you. That's how you were able to cut out the middlemen.
Yeah. So it's on both sides. So first you work with the agent that is like, well, I can find people as good as you can, so you can save up some energy. You can place bigger bets. You can like by bigger bet means they can take more, right? Because I can help you out. And what happens is, over time, we just start working with bigger and bigger contracts, and then cut out, like, some agencies add value. Some agencies don't add value, right? So, like, you have agencies that don't add value and just take your whatever $5 an hour. And those will get cut out because we will, like, when I say we, it's sometimes me and another agency. We will work with the customer, the end customer, and say, like, look, like, you don't need this another layer because they're not adding value. I am directly in touch with the developers. Now, these people are providing whatever they're providing, but some of them are not. So over time, the group gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And because, like, I was myself being placed, so I was working with the customers. So that's how I build relationship. It's like, hey, if you trust me, you don't need these middle people. They found us, right? So, like, you pay them already for 3 months, 6 months. You shouldn't pay them forever, right?
Yeah.
So that journey, was fun. But at the end, I will say, toward the end, I knew that that's not going to be my life, because the more I got into it, even though money gets, like, better and better, the life also changed, right? In the beginning was 90% work meaning solving problem, building software, right? In the beginning, 90-10, like 90% that, 10% business development, right? Toward the end, obviously, it flipped. I mean, the joke I was saying, telling my wife that it's like, I only do, like, 1 hour work. Like, I go to office. I do my project management thing for 1 hour. The other 7-8 hours, I play politics, because I have to know who's friend with whom, who's about to get promotion, who's about to get fired, right?
Yeah.
How do you who has relationship with IT, who have relationship with upper management? That takes a lot of energy, and that becomes bigger and bigger part of my life. And I don't think I want that life. So at the end, like, I was toward the end, like, I was like sitting down with a couple of my friends at the time that we were all working together. It's like, we have to get out. We have to try to build a product. And it's at that time the iPhone came about, right? So the big story is, like, iPhone came about. The 1 year after iPhone came about, Steve Jobs announced App Store, right? So this is summer of 2008. 2008, I remember at the time, like, I was playing as a technical architect, like, building software, right? So I have technical architects around me. One of them came over and show me an app. Now, this is right before App Store announced. So he showed me, it's like, Z, I built this stupid thing called tic-tac-toe. Like, it's like, I made more money on this tic-tac-toe in 3 weeks than I'm sitting here in 3 months. And he told me, I'm quitting. So should you. And he said, like, we miss our 80s. We're born a little bit too late. We miss our 80s. This is our 80s. You need to do this. So that weekend, I bought my first Mac, and then I went I went home, and we just this is it. So in the next few months, we start experimenting with trying to take mobile projects anywhere we could. So it's and that's brand new, right? iOS development was brand new. Nobody knew how to do that. There was no nothing. But so yeah, you can say, I mean, we're in the right place at the right time. And we also chose to not build silly apps or fun or games. Game that Christmas, I always quiz people. Do you remember that Christmas of 2008, the first Christmas that App Store is around? Do you remember the top, what are the top apps that year?
I don't know what the top app was. I'm actually thinking the top apps. I remember the New York Times had this great app, and it's actually really gone downhill. But so I don't know what were they.
Right, not the one, but the category.
Oh, the category.
The biggest category of apps are farting apps.
Oh my God.
You push a button.
Oh, that's right.
Fart,
there was the you could have the flame lighter app.
Exactly. There are many of those.
Yes.
Right. And that was the direction. It was for fun. It was not serious. So and actually there was a story that I worked at a startup early on in my career that we built mobile apps. Now that's way before iPhone. And I love that. So we kind of went into that direction and start building business apps for mobile. And so that's starting to take off. Yeah. So that's
very good. So tell me more about the apps that you were building.
Yeah. So it's called iForm. We were lucky enough, early enough, that we can capture that name iForm on both iOS and Android. And it's a digital form. It's not magical, but then we focus on disconnect. That's also another choice that I call it the 1 second problem. So I still remember 2010, I start demoing this product to people, and then people why disconnect? The world is getting more connected.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to build something that focus on disconnect. And I say, yeah, I mean, the world is getting more connected, but you always have this 1 second that you're not connected when you're doing your inspection or you're doing work.
Okay.
And you may be in the basement, and then that is 1 second. So that is the one direction that we went hard with that allow us to stand on our own for many years. Yeah.
And the business is still going.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still life is very different, right? Obviously, the world has changed. In the beginning, right? So I always joke about, I don't know how our first customer found us. They signed before we're ready. We signed it's called iForm, right? The form full name is called iForm Builder, right? That's the name that we went with. The app is called iForm. When we launched, Form Builder was not built. We launched the form on the mobile. You can run the form, but there's no way to build a form. You have to build form by typing into the database. I remember doing a demo. I type SQL statements in the database to build forms. And so that when we launched the app, people start downloading every Saturday. The sign up will spike. And the reason, now we don't know the reason, but I suspect the reason is all the managers or bored in some kind of party, or they're just sitting by the side of their kids' birthday party or some party, and start scrolling and thinking about work, and then on their new iPhone, right, by 2010, and they will find that and they will sign up. So it's a very different world, right? Today there are a ton more no-code products. The reason we're still around is that we chose to disconnect, and we're focused on bigger enterprises, right? So today we're focused on what I would call industrial inspection. So we inspect big things like pipeline, huge oil pipeline, huge factory, and so so we can still be around. Luckily.
Very good. Well, so that's the story leading up to Zenith Venture Studio. Tell us about Zenith Venture Studio.
Yeah. So I am still the same thing is I get bored, right? So I want to build new things. Even while running iPhone Builder, I continue to build new things.
Mm,
And one time it's just one friend is like, hey, well, I mean, his name is Alex. So he's moving to Vancouver and he's like, well, I need something new to work on.
mhm,
He is a VC from Hong Kong. He's like, well, can we put something together? I said, well, there's something in my head for a long time. It's like, if we can build new projects from time to time, I'll continue to build new projects, whether to take it to funding or not. I want to create a platform where I can continue to build new projects until my 90s, right?
mhm,
Jokingly saying. And so this idea came about where we will form a funding vehicle on one end and then help people like either there's no requirement either I build either you build, but we're building new things together.
mhm,
So the idea of a venture studio, unlike a VC give you money and say good luck, right? A venture studio give you money and then also give you resources to work with you because
mm,
I want to be part of it. I want to build new things. I'll get bored easily, right? So that's what that idea came about. And again, the difference is we don't just give you money. We give you money and we give you resources. And now with other partners in the team, so we don't just help you build, we help you validate,
mm,
we help you manage. So basically, the idea is we're trying to find people who are great on certain industry, right? So experts in whatever fishing industry, legal, whatever, that you know a lot about that particular industry, but you know nothing about software, nothing about product, nothing about product market fit, nothing about running a company, nothing about raising money. Well, we've filled in those gaps, and so we'll partner together. So that's Venture Studio.
excellent. And how far have you got in this process? It makes sense. It's sort of like you're getting a co-founder rather than just someone who's a board member.
Right. Exactly. So it's very different. It takes a different types of founders who doesn't think they can do their own to do everything, right? So like as for partnership, how far along? I mean, we're second year in this journey, so we're new. We're still like finding product market fit, if you will.
Hmm. Your own product market fit. Yeah.
Right. We'll continue to tune and I intend for this to be a long-term project. So I'll figure it out, right? And this is not yet my full-time job, although we'll see. We'll see where things go.
So what's the deal? I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true. I was interviewing another VC the other day, and they said, the problem is not coming up with a good idea. I have like 10 ideas before breakfast. It's really around execution
Correct.
and so forth. So, where are you seeing that combination of idea and execution?
Well, so yeah, I mean that's why we think as a team, we can provide the execution expertise.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's the founder, right? The founder needs to
Yeah.
appreciate all these help, right? Rather than just us, like investors, if you will, taking a large piece of you, like because we're doing a lot more than a typical VC or angel.
Yeah.
We need a larger piece to make sense, right, of the business model. And this also is another sticking point. So it takes different types of founders. Now, at the end of the day, it like you said, it is execution, and we can provide that help. The studio market is still like it's been around, but it's not well understood. Like VC and angel, everybody got it. So
Yeah.
we found ourselves having to educate founders when they came over. It's like it's not just money. If you just want money, there are more people.
Yeah.
You can talk to like unlimited amount of VCs. There are many
Yeah.
many. You came to us for a different reason, and you need to like it. It's different, right? Yeah, I mean the key is you are going to spend those equities one way or the other, finding your own CTO, finding your own CMO, CPO, like you're spending it, and we just come in at a package. So yeah.
And as far as the resources that you have finance, you have you and your partner understand business, and you've gone through seen enough other companies and had enough experience with yours. So what are the other things that you bring? Is it just development and business sense and capital, or are there other things that you're offering?
Yeah, there are basically four things: development,
Yeah.
product market fit,
Mm.
including design, right? Product market fit and UI UX design, and then you have product management, right? So like
Yeah.
how to frame the product, and then money, right? So four distinct features. I mean, attributes.
And it seems like it could be fun for the right person. You get to, from your side, you get
For
to
me,
kind of be in these businesses, and maybe, you don't understand agriculture or whatever. So you're learning that, but you're also bringing your technical and business expertise. But it does seem like you can't place very many bets. That seems like
correct,
one of the challenges,
correct.
and you're okay with that, I guess.
Correct. It's very different, right? So if we're to play in the angel or VC realm, we could place 10 bets a year, but we cannot. I mean, we don't have enough resources. We're doing at most four. Even four is pushing really hard.
Yeah.
Maybe three. It's the right
Yeah.
amount per year. So we need to have a very, very confident idea that at least this is not going to crash. It's very different calculation. That's why people, like when we interact with people, people get the shock of the way we, I mean, if you call due diligence or even before that, I mean, we need to understand it fully well before we start, because of we don't have enough bets. A VC can win 1 in 50, they're fine, right? We need to win 1 in 10 or even less. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's such an obvious thing in a way, but because I've been talking to a lot of potential investors, and one of the things that is, really clear is when you know quite a lot about your area, hopefully everyone that goes into business is kind of an expert in their niche, then it's actually finding other people that speak that same language, or they're strategic. They don't understand it, but you've got someone else that they trust who has done that due diligence, that they can say, okay, they're the lead. They did that due diligence. So does that limit the field for you? Because there's just things that you don't understand, and so you don't want to go in and place bets blind.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so, and because of most of our background, like I call it, we're into boring business. We love building things that are boring, make money but boring. I mean, iPhone builder is one of those. Like it makes money, and it's super boring. It's not sexy, and there are enough of those like boring, mundane business problems. There are quite a lot. So that is one direction that we want to go in. Those, luckily, are a little bit more difficult to get VC funding.
Yeah.
So solving boring, mundane business problems. And then obviously from a tech perspective, we want to utilize AI. I mean, today, in the AI world today is very analogous to the early days of mobile. And right now, it's actually, I can see the pattern. It's very similar where today it broke loose. Everybody thinks AI, and not enough people doing serious things yet, solving hard business problems. A lot of people building things, testing things. Like,
we're still in the far tap kind of era of AI.
Exactly. That's why, like, you see a lot of changing your face, voice, podcasts. I mean now podcasts can be done with AI. While that's great, I mean that will continue. But I think the real value is by saving labor costs in businesses. I mean, that's what we have been doing in iPhone Builder, and this trend is not going to stop. more people can do more things with AI, and we want to find entrepreneurs, founder who understand deep in a particular industries, and then automate some of those.
Yeah. So what do you look for in a pitch beyond the fact that it's boring, or at least the problem is there's labor saving? Back I grew up in England, and there was an expression from the north of England. I came from the south of England, but the north of England, there was like, where there's muck, there's brass. Where there's dirt, there's money,
Right.
and this what you're describing seems analogous to that. But when you're pitching to a conventional VC, what I've found is there's a very structured, short form where you state the problem and your solution and your right to win and so forth. What do you look for in a pitch from someone that wants your help?
Yeah, the pitch we normally receive is very similar because that market is well established, right? It's what we internally call the PSA structure. It's the problem solution audience structure. It's what is being taught in school, so we adopt that. So we want to hear a problem, we want to hear your solution, we want to know who you're selling to, and that's about it. Now, on top of that, the most important thing is the founder. It's the founding team. Are you just looking for money or not? I mean, that perhaps is question zero. If you're just looking for money, we're not for you. I mean, you need to know before we spend any time together.
Yeah,
We're a studio. We want to work together, and then in return, we want to take more. So if that's not suitable, then let's don't move forward. And that brings about a little bit of it's a personality perhaps, or the way that you understand how the world works, because working together is not like all the story that you heard, is not like TV. It's very different. It's very entrenched. We work together. So it's like hiring a group of people into your team. Now, over time, when we get external funding, we'll peel off. We will help you get like your full-time CTO, your full-time CMO, and so on and so forth. But we want to help get there much faster than you would otherwise.
Yeah, and so you just said something which I think is implicit, but I want to bring it out. So you're early stage, and you're taking someone who's got vertical expertise, and you're helping them build essentially a minimum viable product.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to help them find funding, or at least you're going to help them in the sense of, will you help them as in tapping into a network of other VCs, or just give them the tools in order to get funding? Well,
so we're part of it, right? So we're the co-founder. We will put in the first, like you call it seed funding. We'll call it seed funding. And then we'll go together to Series A. And that's when, right after Series A, right, that's external. And then we'll start helping you like find the full team. So
very good.
Like to the downstream VCs, they love this model because it's a easier bet for them.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of what they do. We're looking for a lot of things that they already look for. So deals from us is a massive de-risk on their end. Now it's like we need to make sure we sign the right deals, and it's not like we could sign many deals because of resources, right? So like it's a natural fit in how downstream VCs is looking at our model, because they can trust we're not going to waste our own money, right? So we spend a lot of our own sweat and tear and money. I mean, it's not like I don't have to pay my people, right? So all of us have to pay resources to push something into the market, to make the first dollar, to get it to viable and gain traction. And so downstream VCs love this model. So we think this is going to work, but then we have to find the right audience, founders. So.
Well, it seems like you like work, so it's a good fit for you.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, as you know, we have this tradition: 3 songs with meaning. What did you end up going with?
It's it's a tough assignment, but I'll start with this. Probably it may be different than other guests. So I'll start with this song. I'll play it.
That is different.
Okay, so the story of this is I heard this while traveling, and we were in Hong Kong, and then like my wife and I and our younger kid was just shopping in a shopping mall. I heard this, I was like, I love this. What song is this? I have no idea, and I asked my wife, I asked people around me at the time, nobody knew, and they just keep playing. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. So I recorded what you heard. It's actually me doing a voice recording like this. Like I'll try to get as close to the speaker as I can. So I recorded this, all 3 minutes of it. And from that point, now this was recorded in July 2018. And for the next 2 years, actually more than 2 years, I just asked everybody around me, like, do you know the song? Do you know what this is? Who plays this? Like, what is that? And everybody's, oh, it's so familiar. And it's from a movie. But so nobody knew. Now, I found it, but I'm not going to disclose. See if someone in your audience know what this is. Right? Okay. So I hope that
so it's a secret song.
It is, it's a song that it just instrument music.
Oh.
Just love that. So
and so they had this amazing attraction for you. What were you doing in Hong Kong at the time? Because you don't live in Hong Kong anymore,
I do not.
Right?
No. At the time, I was just visiting my parents. I mean, we try to go there once a year. So that was during one of those times that we were in a shopping mall. Like it may be in one of those like department store where I remember my son was shopping for toys, and I was stopped. Like I was like, oh my God. Like they went on and they have to come back and find me. And I was doing this. Like, all right, I would, and the funny thing, I would wait. Like Hong Kong is a very compact city, right? So there are a lot of people around me talking. And I was like, I will wait till like there's nobody around and I'll do another recording. So I did 3 in total, 1 minute each, and try to get as good a sample as I could. Now, I think in 2018, there was no, like, I must have tried Suzanne. I must have tried, and it didn't work at the time. Maybe today it will. At the time, it didn't.
And what is it you think that was so appealing to you? What is there some? It's more than just the rhythm or the melody. It seems to me. It seems like there's something more there that must have resonated with you.
So for I like instrument music. I like something that allows me to think, right? So like some music brings out the mood, and then it doesn't usually is no lyrics. And this is, to me, it's happy. Now, so to answer your question, this is already, because I know what it is now. At the time, I didn't know, so it brought out kind of happiness. I have no idea. Now I know what it is, and I know the backstory of this music, so it clouded my judgment a little bit when answering you. I would say also because of the mystery, it's like nobody knew. Like the more I couldn't find it, like the more I want to find it. Like how can it be possible? A lot of people heard it and it's like, oh my God, like I know, and they went look, and it was not that, right? So, but I like it because it's the happiness, and I love these types of happy instrument.
Yeah. But it seems like also the part of it is about this elusive chase, this
Yes.
The search.
Yes.
Very good. Well, this is the first time we've had a mystery song of this type, and I'm now determined to find out what it is so that I can unlock the story behind it. It's less about the music, it's about the story.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
what's number 2?
Number 2 is a song called I Believe. It's a
Yeah.
Korean song.
Okay.
So is from a movie called My Sassy Girl or My Sassy Girlfriend. It came out, I think, about 2003 or 5. So the reason I want to include this into this list is that my wife and I use this song as our wedding theme song.
Excellent.
Now, the funny thing is, we have no idea what it talks about. It's in Korean.
I was going to say, do you speak Korean as well?
Right, we don't. So it is from a love story. So I assume it talks about happiness. So, but we play it during our wedding, and we have no idea. And that only occurred to me after the wedding, like a couple months after the wedding. It's like, oh my God, like what if it actually talked about something really sad? We love the melody. We use it as a theme. We ask the people, like the movie, like the camera people, to make it like a music video afterward. Now, it turns out it's fine, right? It turns out the lyric is about finding the right girl and whatnot, right? But we had no idea. So
this is a bit like the Westerners who have the
right,
the
tattoo.
Kanji scripts tattoo, and who knows what it says. And I don't have any tattoos, but I do have a large bell that's made out of the top of a gas canister. It's huge, very heavy thing, and it dominates our backyard, and it's got these Chinese characters on it. Thanks to ChatGPT, I found out last week it means water, as opposed to this guy's a jerk or whatever. But,
right. The joke was like people tattooed something on their arm that says I'm a chicken or something. Like, but it looks cool, right?
Lucky.
It's foreign.
Very good. Okay, and number 3.
Yeah, number 3 is it's a song about my dad. Well, it's also a love song. It's called Tonghua. It's a Chinese pop song. The reason I choose this is because my dad, now he's since passed in 2019, he loved karaoke. So when we visit, my son and him does karaoke a lot. And my son, who doesn't speak Chinese, he's born in the US. He doesn't speak, well, he speaks a little bit, right? So like extremely broken Chinese. And he learned to sing this song. And till today, today is 6-year anniversary of him passing. Well, it's not anniversary, but 6 years ago today, he passed. And till today, my son will sing this song end to end as grandpa's song. And he sings, he performed for his friends. Every time he goes to karaoke, he will somehow find this song and sing it. And every time I hear this song now, it reminds me of my dad, which like, brings out the emotion. So so this is one of those. The song itself, it's a love story. It has nothing to do with my dad, right? But then it brings out the emotion. So
it is incredible how evocative these songs can be. I was one of our previous guests turned the tables on me after we'd stopped recording and was like, okay, what are your 3? And I said, well, it changes. But I chose Waterloo Sunset, and then I was listening to it. My wife and I were driving on an errand, and we were listening to it. And suddenly I was in tears listening to this song that evoked memories of childhood in London. And so that's part of the reason why we do this. And you definitely delivered. Those are fascinating, interesting choices. And I really appreciate your doing it. And I appreciate your coming on the show.
Yeah, see if some of your audience know the mystery song and all the other 2. All right. Well, thanks for having me, Steve.
So that was the discussion with C. Wong, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you guessed the mystery song, then you're a better musical person than me. On a musical note, I've been listening to this CD, which is one by a very old group called Genesis, called We Can't Dance. Now, Genesis were incredible. Still are, not quite as prolific as they were. But when Phil Collins took over as singer, they went through this big transition. And losing Peter Gabriel as your lead singer might kill most groups. But they came out with an album called And Then There Were Three, which was pretty good. But then they came out with this, which has something that's actually danceable, even though it's called I Can't Dance. And this was really their milestone into a trajectory of music that really started to dominate the charts, as did Phil Collins in his solo career. I was just listening to a really good podcast that was recapping the delights of Band Aid. I think it was like 40 years ago. And the big Live Aid concert that followed the record, where Phil Collins appeared in Wembley and then got on Concorde to go to New York and sing there, which just sort of shows how special he was. Anyway, it's a CD, not an album. You can get it on vinyl, you can get it on streaming as well. But my philosophy is you buy the music on the medium that it was originally made for, because the kind of sounds that you can get out of a CD are different to what you can get out from vinyl. Much more bass and all that sort of stuff. So that's my personal philosophy, and I just enjoy looking at photographs and cover art and all that kind of stuff. So that's the musical commentary interlude. Thanks so much for listening to our interviews. Thank you to Aaron Hammock for being the most diligent listener to every single second of every podcast. He's the guy that edits it and produces it, and now sends out the newsletter to those of you that have subscribed. If you haven't done that, then do come to our website. You can search for Mr. Beacon, or you can go to podcast.ambai.ai, and you can subscribe to the newsletter there, or just go to whatever the podcast platform is that you like. So if you have been, thanks for listening, and do enjoy the journey. Thanks for watching this episode of the Mr. Beacon Ambient IoT podcast. You can also listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Please like and share this video, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss further episodes. For more information about Bleakon, head over to bleakon.net. For more information about Identiv, go to identiv.com. And for more information about AmbAI, go to ambai.ai.